I don't want to participate in any type of war. I don't understand why men and women want war and they still want to hook up. It's kind of weird. Because so often I've seen that there's programming and conditioning going on that does not represent the man being lifted up. It's more so tearing down. And women, we don't even realize that the conditioning is going on. Is honesty a disadvantage in this space? Because that's how I'm coming. I'm coming as with honesty. It makes no sense for us to bring the woman up, and then there's still women out here that are dogging and belittling our men. So we got to get the message that we got to come up together because we're for each other. Y'all do understand that, don't you? I'm trying to share with these women how to be better women, how to prepare themselves to be wives. I'm giving them what I call tools in order to walk out there daily. She don't advocate for us. No, that's not true. I very much do. I want you to have all the information and a good woman. All the information and a good woman, because I want you all men to be leaders.
Do you think most women can really deal with what it comes with a man that truly is having the trajectory of like a high level success? What's your thoughts on that, SB?
For me, I build with my husband. I think my husband is very successful now, but we build together. Going in the front door, we build together. And I still think that's the way to do it. Mm-hmm. To me, that's an actual ultimate test. You have a woman, this is a little bit off, but if you have a woman and y'all having a conversation and you're thinking about being married, ask that woman, are you interested in having one pot? Mm. Would you put all your money in one pot with me? Is this something we can do? And that right there, that'll answer all your questions. Yep. You know, that'll give you, does she trust you? Does she like you? Is she willing to build with you? That answers the total question right there. Mm. But I just think when a man, I think we all need to be reminded of what marriage is. Mm-hmm. So even if that man is super successful and is on that journey, has not achieved it yet, once he alters that journey and decides he wants a wife, which some of them do, because a lot of them say, hey, look, I got to get her now, because when I get successful, I'm not going to be able to trust anybody. I ain't going to know what she wants. Yeah. They need to figure out how to incorporate that woman into that plan that they had for themselves before. And it is always a way, because she is your wife. You all should be on one accord and have that same plan. You have to figure out how to put her in there. Right. So it can work, but she still has to know how to play that role, but you have to be the one to give it to her. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. It is a good Friday, and I am Sabu. Most of you know me as SB Security Boss, but I'm enjoying this Sabu, especially with my new life in South Africa. So I'm coming here live from South Africa, and we're going to talk about it tonight because guess what? Change is coming. And I hope everybody's doing well. I told y'all about it had to be over a year ago that Fridays were good, and it is still a good Friday. And I hope everybody's enjoying it. I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying this time. For us, it is approximately 7:43 in the evening, and what is it? Lunchtime. Young lunchtime in the United States. So around 12:43 Eastern Standard Time, but I hope all is well. And we're going to just have a recap of today, actually, of my whole week. And we're going to talk about the changes coming. I'm going to tell y'all a few things about life in South Africa because I started this journey with that and I'm going to continue to do so. I hope everybody's hearing me well. Thank you guys for coming to the chat. Scorched Earth is good to see you. John O says good change is coming. Hmm. Okay, John, I like that. We're gonna talk about it. And I want to know who is it good for. I'll give y'all a disclaimer before I get into that. Hey Jolie, what's going on with you? Bolo, what's up? 9:45 on the West Coast. I like that. It's still morning. You ain't got to make no decisions, right? You just work and listen. That is good to hear. 9:45. Wow. Goodness gracious, y'all a whole day behind us. So guess what? South Africa experiences things a whole day before you all do, basically. A whole work day. 7 hours now since the time has gone back. But hey, so if y'all need anything, y'all just call me on the phone and say, what's going on today, SB? And I could tell y'all and give y'all a briefing of what's getting ready to happen over in the United States. So this all is well. Happy Friday. I know I love it. I love Fridays. So guys, I gotta give a disclaimer and I'm gonna give this throughout the show because most of y'all know that I've said it many times that I did not vote. So I'm not gonna be one of y'all can jump on me if you want, but I'm not gonna be coming from a place of hating on anybody. I am talking tonight and just bringing some awareness to the things that I see that is happening. So basically, what I'm doing as a follower of Christ, because I'm over here in South Africa, y'all. I'm just bringing some awareness to those that also follow Christ and just want y'all to pay attention. Just pay attention. Because John O says it's going to be some good changes going on, maybe. But either way, I just want y'all to pay attention because we've been asleep for some time now. We've been sleeping. I will say it again. There is no heaven. Excuse me. There's no Democrat and Republican in heaven. So this is not my thing. Politics is not my thing, but I need for us to pay attention because we need to see the way things are going because the United States is still under the judgment of God. Because there's been too many things that has gone wrong. And just to recap the week, some things that have been going on, but I'm enjoying myself here on Monday. I think it was. I think I went shopping. No, I didn't go shopping on Monday. Monday, I think I just chilled. I went shopping on Wednesday. I did. I went shopping on Wednesday, enjoyed that, had dinner out with a friend. Miss Sharice, shout out to you. She's another young lady that's here doing somewhat what I'm doing. Got a message from God and hey, answered it, came on over. So we're here and she has a ministry and I'm like supporting whatever she needs to do. And we went out on Wednesday, had some good time, just me and her, had some good shopping time. Went to the Mall of Africa. I told y'all about that. I'm just sharing with y'all what my life has been like or what my life is now in South Africa. Now, understand, we still have our business, so I'm still working. I did have to do payroll before I left, but I did it. And remember now, I'm 7 hours before. So I'm like Johnny on the spot. I've done payroll 7 hours before y'all even woke up, but I'm already into my day. So we went shopping, had a good time, ate at a nice restaurant. Then on Thursday, it was time to take care of myself per se. So I did the nails and the toes. Y'all, I ain't got to tell y'all. This is for my ladies. Y'all, I don't know what they use, but this nail polish, it's whatever it is they use, it lasts the whole month. You ain't got to get nothing done. And then guess what? When it's time to get something done, it's because your nails done grew. Your cuticles are hanging out by themselves. So again, prices are good, and I love my girls at the salon. Love my young ladies. They do and treat you very well here in the salon. So that was my Thursday. Now, My Friday was today. It was very relaxing, but I gotta tell y'all something. I'll go back to that because Mr. Boss may not be ready. Oh, yeah, he is. He's ready. So I don't know if we mentioned this before or not, but here we decided that there's a such thing as called living off the grid. Living off the grid is when you don't report or when you don't need any of the utilities that your township offers, or like when wherever you live. Where we live in a place called Oliphant Fontaine, and they have power source, they have water, they have just everything that we would call it Duke Energy in North Carolina, or the city of Charlotte water, or whatever. That's what it's like in the States. And all of you probably lived in a place where it was just like that. But here, it's pretty much the same. You live in a different province. Actually, the province that I live in, city water, I'm calling it city water, but water, electric, and all of that. But living off the grid is not having to sign up for any of that or make usage of any of that. So it was really important that we could be as far off the grid as we could possibly be. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Um, our first, our first, our first power bill that we got here was, I think I want to say it was 1,400 rand. I know that sounds like crazy, right? 1,400 rand. I'm not doing the calculations right now, but I think 1,400 rand is just not a lot of money at all. Let me just tell you how much it is. Not a lot of money at all, y'all. But it was only for about 19 days. So we were like, okay, this is cool. This is good. This will be okay. But it was like, it was just a joke, y'all. Because let me see what 1,400 rand is. Okay, 1,400 rand. Our bill for 19 days was right around $77, right? Okay, so we was like, okay, you know, we get it. We was trying to estimate what a whole month would be like, and you know, so either way, the second month came, and that was the time when we are actually in the house mostly, and they're working and running every machine possible. Every light's on, they're changing every bulb, the pool pump, everything is just going, going, going. We're going 100%, right? That next bill, y'all, and this is gonna sound crazier, but the next bill, y'all, was 9,400 rand. 9,000. Did y'all hear what I said? 9,400 rand. Okay, y'all. 9,400 rand is $500. Okay. So when we saw that, we were like, hey, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. And I'm just giving y'all a recap, letting people come in. In a minute, I'm gonna go back and speak to everybody. I'm glad to see that y'all coming in here. Friday is a good Friday for me. I hope it is all for you all too. So anyway, our second bill, y'all, was for a full 30 days. It was every bit $500+. It was like, what? Ooh, and some of y'all may not know. I explained it to you. We do have air cons in our house, which means we have like a centralized heating and cooling system, which most homes in South Africa don't have. It's something you have to get installed, but we actually have it. When we first got here and moved in the house in September, we had some very cold nights. So we like had all our air cons on, y'all. We was chilling. I should say we was warming up. All of them was on. We was just we were just being comfortable. But first bill, $500. So we was like, hey, wait a minute. I mean, we had intentions on getting off the grid anyway, but we were going to do it in a timely fashion. We wanted to build some interest and things of that nature. So when we got the $500 bill, it was like, hey, let's do some things. So Mr. Boss inquired and got a solar company to come out and install solar panels in our house. So guess what? The solar installation started on Wednesday. Everything was nice, quiet. They put the panels on the roof. I left Mr. Boss here by himself so he can deal with that because it was noisy, of course, but it wasn't bad. They put the solar panels on the roof, and they put the inverters and the batteries, all that stuff in the garage. It was just cool, y'all. It looks beautiful. I'm going to show y'all some pictures in a minute. Okay, but guess what? Then on Thursday, some more panels came. Okay, but today was Friday. So y'all know everything was going just too good, right? So today they're working out there, and it was like, we ain't got but one more thing to do. It was like, okay, that sounds good. And y'all gonna be off the grid. Really? Okay. So they go out there and they get now remember, solar panels go on the roof. Keep this in mind. So all of a sudden, oh yeah, I didn't tell y'all. I have a new helper too. She's outstanding. I have a helper. The helper was here. And of course, her and I were talking about things that need to be done around the house. And we was just, and then she was like, hey, I don't have any water. I was like, you don't have any water? I was like, oh wow. Hmm. I mean, I kind of blew it off because I was like, oh, sometimes they turn it over because they're doing some things with the street or whatever. Let me go check my email. They kind of let us know in the state that I'm in. They kind of let us know that some things are going on with the water. So let me go check. I said, oh, it's just probably they just turned it off doing some work or something. She was like, oh, okay. We go up to the phone, check email, nothing. I'm like, oh, no. Mm-mm. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Boss looked out the window and all we saw was water going down the street. This water just flowing. This crazy water just flowing. And then he decides to look out the window and water's just gushing out, gushing out. And then all of a sudden we get this frantic phone call from the people on the roof. We hit a water pipe and do you know where the shut off valve is for the water? Uh-huh. So yeah. They hit a water pipe. And then guess what? They could not shut it off because the valve was in a certain place where they couldn't just automatically get to it. So we had water. We was just watering the whole community. Water just flowing out and they couldn't stop it. So this went on, I ain't gonna tell y'all, probably went on for about no water for probably about 3 or 4 hours, but the water just gushing out. So they had to find a main water pipe to this whole area that I live in to shut it off in order to shut ours off because they hit this pipe. Now, still, y'all, we getting solar panels on the roof. So I want to just let y'all see what happened. I don't know if the videos are exactly what happened, but if you can see this is the water after the fact. Did y'all see this? Did y'all see that? They're trying to get the water out of our backyard or outside of the house. Look at this, y'all. Solar panels. Now tell me how. I will never know, but it's just anyway, there you go. Now I do want to show you all the finished product because it looks
What'd you find out, sir?
It looks wonderful and I guess hopefully in time we'll understand what went on and it will be all worth it. But I got to show you the finished product if Mr. Boss would do that. Here we go. What you're seeing now is the actual system in our garage. You have the inverters, you have the batteries. This whole system will take us off grid where we probably will have a small utility bill just because you have service at your home, but hopefully the panels on the roof will conduct us, be so conducive that they just suck up all the sun and we just live off of that. And at night, we will live off the battery. So we won't have any more $9,000 ran energy bills anymore. All right. So that is what it looks like. That's what we did all day today. Listen, I'm just sharing these things with you because if any of you all decide to actually move to another country, that does things a little bit different, then this may be some things you have to experience. But we did this to be off the grid, to have zero amount of bills every month coming in this house because we don't want to have any. We want to be totally retired and totally be doing God's will. And we don't have time to be paying no $500, y'all. Whew. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all. Let me see what else I did this week before we say hello to a few people. What else have I done? Okay, so listen, I'm gonna say hello to a few people. Then I'm gonna get on with some of my comments that I got this week and some of the things I've seen in video because y'all, it's been something. All right, so let's get back here. Let's see, Miss Fifi, what's going on? Mr. Gilbert, who's watching the Tyson? Mr. Gilbert, now listen. I know people do some funny things, but please tell me Mike didn't kiss that man. I saw a video where Mike was kissing, what's his name? Is it Patrick? Whatever his name is. He was kissing him. Please tell me it was fake. It made me sick. But anyway, whatever the fella's name is, there's a video out there where Mike was kissing him. So I know it can't be right.
I'm just hoping it can't be right. But anyway, I think I saw Acre. Acre, what's going on with you? How are you doing? Tell Bob I said hello. It's Friday. I know Bob is probably working, but tell him I said hello. Frederick, hello, sir. Hey, sending you greetings from the Northwest South Africa. Hey, thank you so much for that. I think I got those up there. Bolo, did I say hello to you, Bolo? What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Let me see. Did I miss some other people that are in? B Sammy, what's going on? We never paid $500 for a bill either. Never, never. I mean, never. So we didn't even ask any questions. We hurried up and said, no, 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 this can't be right. We know the house is big, but y'all, we only 2 people. We can't live in the whole house at one time. So we just assumed that a lot of it was contributed to the working that was going on around the house. There was a lot of electrical equipment being used and things of that nature. But there's some things that are just going to have to happen, and we know that. And if it gets cold again, like it did, we're gonna turn on the heat. I mean, come on, y'all. We from America. We from America, and y'all. What's what we gonna do when it get hot outside? Probably turn on the air. So we was like, look, this is not working. So we had to do something, B Sammy, because it just was, Mr. Gilbert, did you see that video on TikTok with him kissing the young man that he's fighting tonight? You Google it. Google it, and please tell me somebody put that together and it's fake. It ain't Mike. Just tell me something, because I like Mike, or I used to. But if Mike on there kissing some grown man, then I'm like, I can't even watch. Even though he's looking very good as far as his skills, it's like he ain't missing a step. And I'm a boxing fan, but if Mike is kissing that fella, I got a problem. Got a real big problem. But anyway, I hope I said hello to everyone. So as you come in, I will definitely give you a shout out. And if y'all have a comment about anything that we're getting ready to talk about, please just put it in there and stop me. We're going to drop the link in a little bit, a little later, once we get into the topic, which is changes coming. And then you all can come up and just tell me what you think. So I'm saying hello to my South Africa family and also my United States family. Y'all, I miss you all, but not enough that I'm going to come back and live with you. Okay. But I told y'all to get y'all passports way back at the beginning of the year. I hope you did. Maybe you can visit. All right. So listen, I've been noticing, and me and Mr. Boss both have been noticing that there are comments. Let me say this. When I come to you all and I talk to you guys, I am making an attempt to only share with you God's principles. I'm not coming or pulling from what the world has established or what we want to do in this world or what makes us comfortable or what is now or what we say is okay because our mama did it or because 90% of the people are doing it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, being sexually immoral. Everybody's having premarital sex. So why don't we just do it? I don't know if God has punished anybody. I mean, we say really off things like that, But see, God has already told you sex outside of marriage is immoral. He's already said that. Does he really need to go back and say it again? Or are you going to continue to try to find scriptures that will maybe give you a little end to where you think that you can do the opposite because maybe Paul was speaking to someone about something else or what have you? I'm always going to take you back to God's principles and what God said about it, right? So I've been getting these comments where, I'll say, y'all know this thing about marriage and men with 1 or 2 women. Y'all know in history, back in God's days when he was here, Adam and Eve, and, he's here now, spirit and body. We know what was going on. We know God is living. That's not what I'm saying. Back in the day, way back, we know that many kings and many men had more than one wife. And we also have come to learn the purpose of that, how God is, they're going to multiply. This is easier to fill the earth. We understand that. But what we forget is back in Genesis 2, he told us what marriage was. So just how some sin goes on, that does not mean that God is good with it. Can we not understand that? Just because we do a bunch of sinful things, that does not mean that God is good with it. And if you had any conviction, but if you're not a follower of Christ, you're probably not going to be arrested or have those convictions. So what you're going to do is have me say that God is not pleased with it. And then you're going to go find a scripture that kind of supports what you think, but it doesn't support what you think. And then I got to go back and forth with you, which I'm not doing anymore because God has already spoken. So you ain't got to skip over Genesis 2, where it says marriage is between a man and a woman, and the man leaves his mama's house and cleave to that woman, and they become one flesh. Now, you ain't got to skip over that to go all the way down to Genesis, was it Genesis 18, verse 30? You don't have to skip all over that just to get to there. You don't have to do that. Why don't you just stop at what God says and make that good enough for your life? I mean, but I understand we're trying to make sin, normal. And guess what? You have accomplished just that. And this is why United States is under judgment. It's why. It's why. This is why. It's RSB. What's RSB? But anyway, so SB, that is AI. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Bolo. That's an AI with Mike Tyson kissing Jake. Oh, God. Thank you, Bolo. I was sick. When I saw him kissing, I was sick. Why they wanted to do that? See what I'm saying? They want to make it normal for Mike Tyson to be kissing this man he's about to box. Why would you want to make that normal? They're doing so much conditioning of the minds of people. It is ridiculous. Please, y'all, pay attention. It's conditioning. See, guess what? To somebody, a lot of y'all probably saw and didn't even see it, because I was watching, y'all know this is a little bit, I was watching crime show the other day. I love crime shows, y'all. And I'm a Netflix type person. I love crime shows and who done did it, y'all. So I was watching this. Y'all, the show was good. It was a Buckingham murder or something, y'all. I don't know, on Netflix, y'all. It was good. How in the world? Buckingham murders or something like that was the name of it. How are we going to end up with two men in an embrace doing homosexual acts from Buckingham murders? They just threw it in there on me. I was like, what are y'all doing? What's going on right now? I had to double take. We had to fast forward. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was so random. There was no relationships with no one. It was a murder. It was a young boy that sold drugs, was found in the front seat of a car. How did that get to be a homosexual relationship where they gonna be kissing down there at the pond? And you got to show me the embrace and yeah, but see, that's why the judgment is here. And that's why we're going through it. Let me read this. Artificial intelligence. Yes, Tyson definitely slapped the taste. He did do that to Jake. Okay, so y'all already know. Y'all think Mike gonna really just knock him out like we know he can? Or y'all gonna just like give him a break? What y'all think? And when does it come on? Does it come on tonight for real? I want to know what time, because I've been looking at the Netflix leading up to. I've been checking that out. So yeah, I want to see it, but I don't want to see it because I know Mike gonna go crazy. I hope he don't. But that fella's like, I love you, Mike. I love you. I'm getting all kind of mixed signals. I'm like, is it okay for me to watch this? So anyway, going on to the comments that I've been getting. And I know, Bolo, I know you've heard this. Everything that is good has been considered is bad now, or everything that God has placed as his principles now are looked at as being bad. The devil has really switched it up. The other day I said, wow. And I said it before I knew it. I was like, wow, the devil has won. But I know that ain't the case. But I said it before I knew it because it was so much junk that was going on that I was I know exactly what it was. This is what I'm going to tell you now. I don't really know when this actually came on, probably Monday night on Hardly Initiated. They had the two homosexual pastors on there, and I think the title of the show was, "Can You Be a Homosexual and Holy or a Christian?" And y'all, it had me in tears because I was sick. I was sick because these two, because these two men, they were fighting so hard to be gay. They were fighting so hard, but you could tell Oh, I could tell. The Spirit was telling me that they were so uncomfortable. But, a major part that I saw in them, a major problem, I should say, that I saw in them, that even though they were living that lifestyle, their ego and their pride was so large that they could not even receive any of the word that the young men were actually, talking to them about. And I just could not. It was just sickening to me. Not, it hurt me because even I could see that. See, I happen to know in your darkest moments when things are still and you in that room and it's just you. I know God deals with you. He does that for all of us. I know this. And those two men, no matter how many theology schools or how many degrees they have or how long they've been in a relationship, they experienced the same thing. And for them to be so prideful and so, because even as a Christian, we're not, I'm not here to debate the word. We're at a time now that we need to help each other and we need to learn. But you're fighting for what? You're fighting for what? Now, even the simplest point is when two men get together, there's no procreation going on. There's no multiplying going on. That's the end. That's the end. And God said way back in the beginning, that wasn't the purpose for man. So for me, again, you have the principle of God, and now you playing. You want to find a scripture somewhere that talks about love and go back to the beginning. Two men getting together, there's no procreation, there's no multiplying, there's no filling the earth. That is the extinction of men. Why are we playing the game? So I said to myself then, yeah, it has to end. It has to. It has to end because this is ridiculous. I was saddened by it because they talked about how many people are following them and how many people were writing in and had questions for them. And see, that's what saddened me the most because somebody's listening. There are people that are listening and following them, and their spirit is being condemned, and they're living in it, and they know every day is like hell. Because if you, like I said, you sit for a moment, you're driving down the street, and you're just having that moment with God. He's working it out in you. He's working you, but you don't want to admit it because you're so prideful. Your life is so good. You're so deceived because maybe you're getting all the treasures or the material things, or maybe you got a high paying job or whatever the situation is. Or you just so deceived that God is blessing your situation. See, that's so. Oh, anyway. If y'all have not seen that video, y'all go back and take a look at it. It was on Hardly Initiated. I'm going to say it was Monday. It was like 4 hours long. But the question was, can you be homosexual and gay? Excuse me, can you be homosexual and a Christian? I think that was the title of it. And the answer is no, because you can't put those two, a person that says they are a follower of Christ, that's exactly what you should be doing. You should be following the principles of Christ. Dearly beloved. That does not mean that you are a perfect person, but guess what? Also, he sent Jesus Christ so we can repent. So there's some repentance there. But when you have chosen to live a life that God has already outlined to you, that this is not how you're supposed to live. This is the extinction of man. We ain't growing here. See, to me, that is such a simple concept. You do this, it's the end. And I don't see how people don't get that. You do this, that's the end. But they want to make it complicated. But listen, my heart goes out to them. There's nothing I can say, but that's the end. This is the end. And if you continue to choose this, it's the end. And there will be many people that will. There was a young boy on there that gave a powerful testimony. He was only 24 years old, and he simply said that he was in his car. And he said he had on a halter top, y'all, nails, everything. And he said the Holy Spirit hit him in the head, like boom, woke him up. He said he lost all desire for that way of life. And he said he knew he was on his way to becoming a transgender. He was going to actually get his member removed. That's how hard or how heavy that spirit was upon him. And someone that actually experienced it, was actually talking to these two pastors. And they just sit there one of them had such a smug look on his face. And the other one just smiled like, oh, you poor child, like looking at him like, you poor thing. God bless you. Like he wanted to go pat him on the head, like, oh my God. And you know, that's how it was. But again, here we are. We have many scriptures that tell you why this is not acceptable. And we go find the ones that in some way convince us that we're going to be okay. And they went as far as to say that the Bible is not timely, like God done played out. We doing something different. Yeah, you are. But we that follow Christ are not. He's already said in the beginning what it was, who it is, and what's going to be. So why do we need to deviate from that? Especially if you're going to call yourself a Christian, y'all. I mean, y'all, before long, if they haven't already done it, they're going to be creating their own little Bible. And I'm probably speaking this because somewhere it's probably already written. Y'all know I don't know everything. So it's probably one already out there. Who knows? Hey, Travel One, how are you? It's good to see you. But anyway, the link is in the comment section. I'm going to get to today's changes coming. And I'm going to do this because I've been paying attention, looking at some TikTok videos. But before I do that, let me just share with y'all. We are at a different location in the house today. We used to be up in the master lounge. Mr. Boss said, hey, why don't we just go around the house? I was like, hey, why not? So today we are actually in what we would call our inside outside area. The pool is right here beside me. Y'all don't see it, but the doors are actually closed right now. But this is the area of the house where the doors completely open and we're all outside. We are not there today. We're here, but we don't have the doors open because if you haven't picked up on it, it is nighttime here. But one day soon, we will open all the doors and you all will get to see inside, outside. We'll be outside and inside at the same time. But anyway, that's where we are. And Mr. Boss has decided to just go somewhere else in the house and just see what's going on, see how we enjoy that area. We just gonna use the whole house, y'all. We're gonna just play around until we find a good place, or until the studio is actually ready. And that could take some time, y'all. It could take some time. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because I did not tell y'all we were in a different place. I just started talking. But if y'all could see, y'all see this crazy bar. I think the man who built this house was maybe a drinker. Oh no, not a drinker. I'm not gonna call him a drinker. He definitely was a partier, right? But anyway, okay, so that was what I wanted to share with you all about the videos I've seen this week, things that are happening, comments that was made. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the changes coming. I'm going to put this disclaimer out there again. I was one that me and Mr. Boss did not vote. I told y'all way before it was time to vote that there is not a Republican or Democrat in heaven. So I realized that God is in control. And I realized that's it. That's the end and that's the beginning. He's in control. And Mr. Boss put out a video, and we got a lot of comments about that too. Miss M, well, shout out to Miss M. Miss M made a comment, and I can't remember the whole thing, but I'm telling you, I did not vote, and I don't know exactly where she was coming from. I would like for her to tell me, but she made a comment like a non-voter or someone that didn't vote was actually like a vote for Trump. Um, again, I voted for neither one. I can kind of understand what she's saying, just because of the numbers. But change is coming. The United States is under judgment. And we're going to talk about some of the change that I see, or some of the things, because I was able today to get a few videos of some of the things that, because Trump is coming into office, some things are already happening. He's already out there talking. Y'all done seen it. People are on edge. All those people that voted for Ms. Kamala, they're on edge for whatever reason. It's just the View. Those ladies on the View are going crazy for whatever. They just hate Trump so much. And I'm thinking, don't y'all get it? So when I put the disclaimer out about me being a person that did not vote, I am not hating on Trump in any way. What I'm doing is just wanting to bring awareness to those who follow Christ. And I just want y'all to pay attention, because these are the things that are happening around us. As far as I'm concerned, God is just using Trump to do whatever it is he needs to have done. So, and it was going to happen whether I participated or not. Because like I said, God is in control. So, Mr. Boss, can you go ahead and play one of those videos for me? All right, so here we go.
It caught them by surprise. Emotions are high. Hundreds of people living at Little Abner Mobile Home Park in Sweetwater found these notices on their door Tuesday, saying they have until May 2025 to find somewhere else to live. The park's management agent says they're closing the park, which includes 900 mobile homes, to develop a new community with affordable and workforce housing, a school, healthcare facility, community center, and more. A letter to homeowners says the park owner is offering an incentive package that goes beyond what Florida law requires. The package is offered through the management agent, the Urban Group.
Or what, was this not good enough? Low income was not good enough for them? Where we're going to go?
That's how many people felt Tuesday night, including David Roseball. He and his family have lived at the park more than 20 years.
What are we going to do? The best you could do is what? Live in the van, and that's about it.
All right, I just want Mr. Boss. Can you show that screen again? I want you to show just the opening up of it. I want to read what it actually says. And I hope y'all got an idea of what's going on.
It all started with a traffic stop. Oklahoma City
Not this
police
video. I don't know
releasing
what this
video
became.
from October 27th when Lip Vu was
wow.
pulled over. The officer telling Vu to stop.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened to the elderly man. But in the video that I wanted Mr. Boss to play is that it showed that all the benefits are now being taken away in New York City. New York City has started. What it says there is immigrants are protesting because their food stamp cards and, of course, their housing is being taken away. Okay, now these are immigrants that are here legally. These are not illegal people. These are people that are here legally. As you heard this man say, he's been here 20 years as an immigrant, and he's receiving benefits. And they're now being taken away. New York City is a stand. They're making a stand, and these people are protesting. Y'all know there have been Black folks here for, y'all know how long. And again, they're taking up. New York City is the first city that I've seen. I know there are some others, but New York City has been the first one. This is just how it's going to go. They're taking the benefits away. Some people really need assistance. There are some elderly people. There are some children. There are some women, men. There are some people that honestly need assistance. I can't say if this community needed assistance or not, but you've been on benefits for 20 years. 20 years. Then he says, what am I supposed to do? Y'all. Now, these are immigrants that were here legally, right? So, Mr. Boss, go ahead and play the next video. Here's another one. Y'all might like this one a lot better. I think this is the one. So anyway, there's another video that I found today where it speaks about there was school and there was reparations. Okay, here it is. All right, here he's gonna play in just a second. But what it says there is DC.
Whose ancestors were once enslaved.
In the D.C. City Council's decision this week to fund a task force to study reparations for Black descendants of slaves. Council members are doling out $1.5 million to create the 9-member commission that will be charged with figuring out the best way to award reparations.
The Washington, D.C. government now wants to give every Black American $1.3 million for reparations for slavery.
D.C. council members are working to make reparations available for African Americans in the district whose ancestors were once enslaved.
In the D.C. City Council's decision this week to fund a task force to study reparations for Black descendants of slaves. Council members are doling out $1.5 million to create the 9-member commission that will be charged with figuring out the best way to award reparations and who qualifies.
The Washington, D.C. government now wants to pass a bill that would potentially give each Black American $1.3 million for reparations for slavery. They have already created a 9-member commission to find out the best way to award reparations and to see who qualifies. This decision from Washington, D.C. has garnered controversy online. Commenters claim that this is a terrible decision and that this would cost taxpayers billions of dollars that could go to something else. But what do you think about the situation? Do you think that reparations are deserved? Comment your opinion down below.
All right, did y'all hear that? DC has put together a 9-member commission that will study and decide whether $1.3 million should be given to every American who were descendants of slaves. 1.3 million to every American that was descendants of slaves, y'all. What do y'all think about that? What do you think about the repercussion? Well, I don't know how many people that would be, but think about all those billions of dollars that have been given to Ukraine. How about that, y'all? But now they're speaking on reparations. Y'all, I need y'all to pay attention. This could be a huge distraction to get you to think that something is changing in your favor, and it's just a distraction. Y'all see that? The 1.3 million, they're in talks. They have put together a committee that is going to talk about and discuss how it would actually be done, who would get the money, and how are they going to decide who is, representing the descendant of the slave. They're trying to figure it all out. They are definitely trying. Now, here's the last one. This is the one that sticks out to me the most. And I'm for, as far as, I think who said it? John O. All right, he's going to play this one for y'all. Fifi said 100%. Fifi, you think you want the 1.3? How are we going to prove that we are descendants of slaves? How would we do that? I mean, that's interesting. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Let me address something really quick. Mr. Gilbert says Trump wants to give white people reparations for being affected by DEI hires. And then the last good man in Jersey, how are you? Listen, he says that's a myth. Well, let me say something because I heard Trump say some things. He gave a speech and he said this was related to colleges and college tuitions and your civil rights and things of that nature. And he said all the foolery that is going on in schools now or going on with college admissions, he said that's not going to happen anymore. And if you listen closely to what he was saying, it did sound as though if a black person were to get some type of affirmative action or something in their favor that they did not deserve, then whatever hardship that that white person that did not make it in may have experienced, they would sue and they would get reparations for that person. And he did say that. Of course, he didn't say, okay, the black person not going to get in the way, but he said we're going to have lawsuits for all the civil rights what do you call it? All the civil rights files that have taken place. He said, "Well, it's time out for the foolery. This goes on in college admissions. And basically, if you are a college or a college student, you're going to have a test that says that you've qualified. You're going to have a test coming in. You're going to have a test going out. And what that sounds like to me at some colleges, if you're not graduating these kids with high test scores, they're going to take away your funding. So we got to read between the lines because he's not going to say everything. And I don't know for sure if that's what he's doing, but I'm asking you guys to pay attention because he did say a lot. A test coming in and a test going out. So that clearly means we're not passing nobody over no more. There's not going to be any number. It's not going to be a numbers game. Whereas I have to have, if I got 10, I got to have 3 blacks. It's not going to be that way. If I got to have 10, those 10 are going to be the best. And they're going to have an admissions test and an exit test. If this particular college is not on their exit test, if it's low, then guess what? We're going to be looking to see why is it low, and the funding that we're giving or whatever the situation may be, it's going to get cut. He doesn't have to say everything. We got to learn how to read between the lines. I mean, y'all, everything going to be out there for you. So with that being said, the last good man in Jersey, he did say that part. Pay attention. That's what I'm saying to you guys. Pay attention. There's a lot of code words that go into the things that people say. Now, I told you guys last week, I think it was last Friday, Bolo hit me to the mega hat, make America great again. That actually came from, I think he said it was Ronald Reagan. So that's not even something that Trump came up with per se, but go back during that time and get the gist of what Ronald Reagan, who he was, and then you can have an idea, because they all have said in their own way they're fighting for their race. That's why abortions are no more. They're fighting for their race because there are too many of Caucasians that are aborting their babies. There's too many of them not having babies. So that's why their race, they feel as though their race is in trouble. They don't want to ever become the minority. If they become the minority, guess what? They can be easily taken over. So they are fighting for that. He is fighting for making America great again. They don't want to, white people don't want to be the minority. And one of the fellas actually came out and said it. I mean, but is there something really wrong with that? I don't wish to be a minority either. That's probably a lot of reason why I'm over here in South Africa, because here we're not. We are the majority. But there, that's how it is. And I think one of Donald Trump's major things is he's fighting for his race. That is why they making abortions illegal and putting all the things in place, because that's how he feels that they operate best. So retribution. Hey, Hotspot Casino, how are you? I don't know, only because it's going to be all the funds to come towards Israel. We're going to be double taxed and triple taxed to pay Israel, and I'm not cool with that. I don't know. I don't know that part. We already know and have seen that Trump is moving a lot of rich people, millionaires, billionaires. What's his name? The richest guy, the Tesla fella, that he's already created a job from him. And the other fella, Alexander something or another, he's one of the richest men from another country. He's created a job for him too. So y'all know this is a business. It's going to be ran just like a business. And that may work to get it back in order, because we have really fallen off. But again, pay attention, because like Fifi said, it is a huge distraction. Trump said he's trying to eliminate unfair discrimination in college admissions. I think that's what I said. You said it one way, I said it another. People have created a false narrative about that being only white people. Oh, no, no one's saying only white people. No, we're not saying that. We're saying that the affirmative action, the blacks, I'm gonna let you in, but your scores might not be high. Are you saying that's a false narrative also? I mean, it could be. But if they're not qualifying, they're not getting in. We know that. If you're not qualifying, you're not getting in, and he's gonna make sure of that. But you know what? In my mind, not in my mind, I actually think there should be a standard. So I'm not like totally against that. I do think that there should be a standard. If we want something, we need to work hard, just like the next. So we're going to see, we're going to pay attention, but understand, I just want y'all to pay attention, just bring your attention to it. I'm not saying that it is right or wrong. This is just something that he's said that he's going to implement. Now, the last video you just saw, he says that he's fining teachers in schools that will teach anything about their child being born in the wrong body. And I'm just paraphrasing y'all. Listen, kudos to him, because right now, the things that they are putting in schools, the books, the summer reads that they are putting out there, y'all wouldn't believe it. Yes, y'all probably would, but it's awful. So, like he said, I have never heard of this type of, gender, not knowing, born in the wrong body. He's never heard of anything like this from any country, but until now. From the United States, and a family, a mom or a dad saying this is okay. This is what you can do. You can have gender reassignment. You can cut your members off. You can add breasts. You could take just, oh God. So the fact that he's putting an end to that, I'm clapping my hands onto that. But again, y'all, it's all a distraction. So pay attention. That's a good thing, though. I think that that's something good. Affirmative action was never for us blacks anyway. Hey, they used the minority as a code word for white people and anybody but black children for affirmative action. They put tokens to represent us. Listen, again, hey, Reckless, what's going on with you? That part is, listen, y'all, I need y'all to pay attention. The new admin will hurt black men the most, as black women have always valued education. Definitely. But it's gonna hurt us, period. But again, I gotta tell you, I think that there should be a standard. I think there should be a standard for living, period. Period. I think so often we find ourselves, and I'm a black woman. I'm looking at my sisters and brothers, and I see that we ain't putting out quality work. We're not putting out quality work. We cut corners majorly. We're lazy a lot of times. But I'm seeing now some of the immigrants, he said they've been on getting government assistance for 20 years. And what they supposed to do? What you mean what you're supposed to do? In 20 years, shouldn't we have created something? Now, these were the ones that's here legally. Now, the ones that are illegal, I'm hearing that they were giving them, and I don't know this to be true. You know how things just, people talk. They're shipping all of them from New York back to Texas, and they said no more free food stamp cards, no more vouchers, no more prepaid debit cards, or whatever it was they gave them. They're shipping them out of New York back to Texas. So they got to go. And I think what's his name? The new immigration person, was it Homie? I think his last name is. He's not playing, y'all. He's stern. He like, no, you're not coming over here just to, come over here, quote, seeking a new life and all of that. Let me tell y'all something. When I came here, or me and Mr. Boss came here, we had to do certain things to be here legally. I have no idea why we in the United States just say, you know what? Come as you are. We're going to open up the gates and just come on in. I don't mind anybody coming. And I think that you definitely should seek better living conditions. I think a better life is cool. I agree with that. But you got to go through the proper channels. How are you going to just have all these people just come over and you're going to take care of them? There are so many people that are homeless that really, really honestly need to be taken care of. Veterans. Y'all know veterans can't even get regular doctor's appointments. They got to wait almost 90 days to 6 months before they get a doctor's appointment because it's just that much of a deficit in doctors and nurses for the veterans. But we can just bring all these people over here, let them in. Oh gosh, it's terrible in that country. I may understand that. I would prefer you help the country if you can, instead of just having people just come over and taking away the resources of the people that actually live here. And then they're, maybe causing problems.
Dearly beloved.
So indeed, they got to go. And they're going to make sure they go. And this is going to be this is going to be hard and it's going to be tough. A lot of people going to disagree with it. A lot of family members, because a lot of people say since they're seeking asylum, what do you mean seeking asylum? Come through the correct way. They don't feel like they are committing a crime because they're seeking asylum. They're seeking a better life. No. When I came to South Africa, there was a lot of things that I had to do. Even since I've been here, I came in correctly. I have my visa, I have my papers, and to be here for the rest of my life, if that's what we choose, I'm going to have to get more papers. Even here, they have foreigners that try to come here and work. And guess what? South Africa say, no, we're not doing that. They have shut down, well, they didn't do it, but store owners and different people that are doing and working and hiring people illegally have shut down their doors because they know that they're wrong and they don't want the police or the immigration to come in and shut them down and find them. So they have closed the doors. Here in South Africa, they've closed the doors, and I guess they're going to get themselves together because they already know, look, we're looking for foreign people who are here illegally. So if they're doing it here in South Africa and every other country, why are we not doing it in the United States? All these people. So that's going to be a big change. It's going to be a lot of things that are happening. A lot of things that are happening. A lot. I've pulled in over 30 grand since the announcement. Definitely not hurting. You silly, reckless. Mr. Gilbert says Afghanistan refugee and refuge. Okay. I don't know who it is. I don't know who, well, because it's Hispanics, it's everybody. But I don't see how that's possible. And since Trump is going to be in office, he has already assigned, I think his name Homer, last name Al Homer or something like that. I probably got it wrong. But he is taking over what Camilla's jobs, I think, was when she was vice president. And he is not playing. He's I saw him testifying and they were asking him several questions, calling him out, saying he's, mean, he's animal, and he don't care about people, he has no heart. He's going at the people. He was like, what are you talking about? It's the same. Well, you believe in separating children from their parents. He was like, it's anytime somebody's parent go to jail, the child can't go with them. What's the difference? And I was like, that was a real good answer. So, it's a big deal. And all these things are happening. So I need y'all to pay attention. I really, really do. Now, the link is in the chat. So if anyone has anything they want to add to this, I would appreciate it. And we can have a conversation about it. Because guess what? This is where you all live. I told y'all to get your passport just in case things got really tight and different. And you might need to take a break or something. I don't know. But again, things are going to change. They're not going to be the way that they've been for the last many years. I'm even going back to Trump years, because Trump didn't make all these changes when he was in office then, but he's making them now, and he's going to do a lot. But again, like I said, I'm not going against Trump in any way. There are some things he has said that ring very true and makes good sense to me, because I do think we should operate with a standard. I do agree and believe that the nuclear family is the answer. I definitely believe in marriage, and then this thing with a man no longer being a man, and as a child you're going to make that decision, and this gender reassignment and all this liberal ease, or how they call it, liberal ease, that does need to be taken in under control. Now, I know some people are going to be like, but God give you free will to do what you want. And yeah, but you can and will be judged for it. He's also giving you principles in order to live your life by. It's a blueprint there that tells you exactly how it's supposed to look, a man and a woman. He's also put in that blueprint of the Bible, the purpose for us all. So if you ever get lost or confused about who you are, what you're supposed to do, that's when you're supposed to start seeking out that word and figuring out, hey, look, I'm I'm having some issues right now. I'm a little confused. I'm a man and I'm doing this. So go seek out what the man's purpose is and try to be on that path of purpose. I mean, a man has y'all have outstanding purpose here, and a woman gives life. Why wouldn't we want to be right there doing the best we can within standards? Why would we want to do anything different? You left at the right time. Just imagine 4 more years of Kamala. I'm stacking up my paper with Trump and then moving back home to Africa. All right, hotspot. All right. So they have a conversation. So they have a conversation going on. Travel One is talking to people in the comment. She says, reckless Ray, De Niro, keep hope alive, Ray, because 47 is not a savior. He is not. He is not. Nor Democrat, nor Republican, any of them. God is in control. Y'all keep that in mind, but pay attention because you will need, I don't say that this could bring you to your knees. How about I say that way? If you're taking God for granted, if you're taking that there is a spiritual aspect to life, to living, then you will be reminded. You will be reminded. And I don't know what's going to happen with Trump, but like I said, there's a lot of things that are changing. He has said he's going to do a lot of things, and some of them sound really well, but I put the disclaimer out there. So I'm not talking against or for per se. I'm just saying all those that follow Christ, pay attention. Get your passports, because if you need to get out of Dodge really, really quick, I need you to do that. Y'all know that there's been so many attempts, as of 3 right now, 3 or 4 attempts on Donald Trump's life. Because sometimes, Satan don't want to go back. He don't want to make America great again. He wants the liberal. He wants everybody to be happy and do whatever you want to do. He wants to operate outside of those principles. But we already know that God wins because the judgment is upon the United States. We already know that. So the link is in the comment section. If anyone of y'all have anything that y'all would like to talk about or something y'all like to bring to my attention, please share it with me, because this is what this is about for me. I need some knowledge. I'm going to keep up with you guys, but I got to continue to tell y'all what life is like over here in South Africa. And I know that most of y'all are probably the age of my children, or maybe in between 30 and 50, and probably cannot uproot yourself and do what we did. But if life gets tough, you might have to make decisions. You might have to just make decisions. I don't know. And if you just might have to make decisions, hard ones sometimes. We discussed how a lot of our friends, we've discussed with them, hey, things might get tough here. And a lot of them are like 1 year away from full retirement as far as working with their companies or what have you. And they're like, wow, I can't, I got to stay here. And we were like, well, you think the retirement will be there in 2 years? Maybe, maybe not. It's that type of air, and we understand. But for us, Mr. Boss got a word from God, and he was like, you need to go. And we were in a position that we could go. Now, I like to think it was all before you all for you all. So I can come over here and get things in order and tell y'all exactly how it is, because so many messages that we got about South Africa, Africa in general, the continent, were just off. Y'all live in mud huts, all of that, this terrible stuff. Hey, Big Ant, man, you always show up for me. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. All I know is that crime has gone down 40% since SB ran. You reckon I was the curator of the crime? Well, I'm so glad I ain't caused no havoc over here yet, but hey, it's coming. Listen, that could be the case. It could be the case. Mr. Gilbert says, can we deport Elon Musk back to South Africa? You know what? I'm sure he didn't give up his citizenship. I don't know how Trump is doing. You know what? I ain't even got to ask. Trump gonna do what he want to do. I was getting ready to say, I don't even know how we are bringing all these men in from different countries and putting them on his what do you call it, y'all? His board. He got the other guys from another country. He just brought him in and gave him a job. His cabinet is all people from other countries. Can you do that? We were reading that you had to be a citizen of the United States in order to become president, but that was about it, y'all. So I should be up there running. Would y'all vote for me? Just kidding, because I'm not going backwards. I was just kidding. But my point I'm trying to make, there are not any huge criteria to becoming a president. So Trump is in there. Usually, you know, they're in the military and they do have normally like a law degree, I've been an attorney or what have you. I don't think he's done any of that, but he's a businessman. He's there. He's qualified. And again, I think most people picked him because Miss Kamala stood up and said that she wasn't going to do nothing different. And if y'all know, like I know, and I told y'all this, a 1-bedroom apartment in the United States right now. This is on the East Coast, like North Carolina, like headed south. It's somewhere between $1,500 and $2,200. Y'all, people can't live like that. They can't. So for her to say that there was nothing that she could do, like I told y'all before, she should have got up there and just told a lie and said, I'm going to reduce the budget or something. I'm going to give out some checks. I'm going to do something. She should have just got up there and just told some lie. She said nothing. There's nothing that she could foresee that she needed to change. So that meant that there was going to be more years of high rent, high food, buildings, businesses going under, unemployment higher, you know, just more of that. And I don't think, well, I already know the United States people were not down for that. So this is one of the major reasons I think that Trump is in office, has been chosen. And maybe he will make it to January. I don't know when the inauguration is this time. I think it's like January 20th or something like that. I don't really know, but maybe he'll make it then. I heard that him and Biden have spoken and everything is on good terms. So, but you never know, guys. I hope y'all paying attention. You just never, ever know. You never know. 47 is a felon. The USA loves mobsters, the patriarchy. He is definitely a felon. I want to say he's a felon, what, 36-time felon? Yeah. See, I don't understand. I don't get it. Travel one, we have totally fallen off, but I think times are so hard or so difficult. Money is so short in the United States right now. I just think the people was like, look, I don't even know if them felonies are real, but I prefer him over her because she ain't gonna do nothing. I can't live like this no more. This is my thoughts. And I mean, along with the fact that you have the nuclear family, he's always pushed that. And another thing too is a lot of the immigrants that are here legally, I don't think they like the fact that people were just coming over the border getting these food stamps and money. I don't think they like that. They came over, they did what they had to do, they worked hard, they paid whatever money that was necessary. I just don't think they took kindly to that. So all that led to Trump. Aka says, do you think there are some Christians that are appointed to stay, or should all be ready to leave? No, I actually think that there are some Christians that will stay and should stay, but I think that you should definitely be on your knees praying to the Holy Spirit to guide you, because you may have to leave for a time, or you might have something that you have to do, but you don't want to miss the word that told you to leave, all caught up in the material things that you just don't want to miss it. You want to be obedient to whatever word you are receiving. Definitely. Hey, Bolo, how are you?
Hey, SB, Mr. Boss, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much. How's it going on with you over in the New York City?
It's getting cold. It's getting cold, man.
It's getting colder.
Yes, ma'am.
No, wait, hold on something. Trevor one. No, he's not. He's not following God. Not at all. Did I say that? Excuse me. He's not. This is, let me say this, Bola, hold on. Let me talk to Trevor one for one moment. That was one of my big question marks. I think I said it last week, was those people that are Christians. And well, I'm just going to use me for an example. If I vote for somebody, they're gonna carry the same values that I carry. They're gonna have some integrity, they're gonna have some standards. They're gonna have to be operating somewhat like I would, because I would think that I would make a good decision, despite myself. I wouldn't be a selfish person. Definitely you wouldn't want a president that is selfish. So when I saw that people were so many Christians and so many men were following or voted for Trump, I needed to ask a couple what actually made you vote for Trump. Actually, a black man, Unfiltered, was here last week, and I asked him what actually made you vote for Trump. And I said, because he's a felon. I wouldn't even hire Trump to work for us. We wouldn't even hire him. He couldn't even be certified by the state that we live in. So a lot of them, he was just, I guess he's like, well, I'm going to tell you what he said exactly. And this could be the reason, this could be um, the answers for a lot of them. He said that there was several men in the Bible that kind of operated like Trump. So I took that as sinful men, which, the whole Bible is full of sin, sinful people, but they did repent. Now, we didn't get that far in the conversation, but I didn't understand where we were quite going with it. So what I did was I said, oh, so maybe it's just what the Republican Party stands for, which as far as family, nuclear family, man and woman. So I just kind of left it like that because I don't see how I could, in my own mind, justify it. But again, I'm not the one. I know God is in control. So there's really no logical answer that you're going to be able to give me that's going to be okay, because I know God is in control. And I also know God can bring you to your knees when you think that you need something and you go for it. When you think you're being blessed, that could be the best way for God to show you that, listen, I am in control. So I just have to, leave it there. But I would like somebody to make an attempt to tell me, as a Christian man, that I voted for Trump and this is why. Because again, like I said, it's those value systems for me, because I can't trust that Trump will make a good decision that would help me. He might throw me straight under the bus, or the people that look like me. So that's Trevor one. That's me. I don't know. Okay. Bolo, what's up?
Hey, sis. What's going on? How's everything?
Everything is good. Everything is good. So did you hear? I know you heard everything I just said. What do you think about that, though? The value system of Trump and the lack of, and people actually voting for him that are Christians. Is it just for the party's sake, or did they take in consideration who he's demonstrated he is?
I think people voted for who. I think people voted for the lesser of two evils.
Oh God. Okay, I
I
got you.
think that's the decision that they had. You had,
Mhm.
you have fire and you have lava. Pick which is going to do more damage, or which is going to do the least of the two. So I think
Yeah.
that's what people voted for. People try, man will always try to reason their own way into why they do what they do,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
and try to make it seem good in their eyes, even though their spirit might be contrary to it. So,
Mm.
voting for Trump or voting for Kamala, at the end of the day, like we spoke on before, it's two different heads of the same coin.
Right.
That's what it is. We all know that a president is a puppet for the oligarchs and those that actually make the call. It's just that the presidency is too strong, so someone has to take the hit. So this is why they rotate presidents like a company.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah. So it's just them getting you to fall again for the sleight of hand. Right? I'm
Mhm.
tired of what's going on here. So what do? Oh, well, if you're tired, just hold on for 4 more years. We'll bring somebody else in. So it continuously holds you and connects you to this game that you want to get off, but they continuously lie to you and tell you, no, there's going to be a change when they say this every 4 years. So, yeah.
So if you saw those videos, I actually believe Trump is going to do some changing. I think Trump is going to get this thing closest to a dictatorship as he possibly can, for ever long a length of time that he can. I really do.
Um,
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to sock it to a lot of people. Now, again, some things. I mean, I do believe in a standard. I myself believe in a standard. So sometimes some people are just not going to win from this. It's not going to be a win. It's going to be a big loss. Um, but again, like you said, this is like a puppet.
but that's
It's
the
a
game.
huge distraction. Yeah,
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 that's the
yeah.
game. You have one side and you have the other side fighting against each other. So when these 4 years is done, hey, we can get the other side to come up. We need you guys to rally behind this side. That's the game. To always think that you have a dog in the race. When the Lord tells his children, his chosen children, his remnant, he tells them, dogs, you don't have no dog in the race. At the end of the day, Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Pay your taxes. Obey the laws. But understand, at any given time, I'm going to shut this thing down. So partake not of her sin and come ye out. Period.
Right. So reckless say laugh out loud dictator. Really? Okay. Let's just pay attention, reckless. Let's just take some notes and just see. Because remember, the whole house, all of it is Republican right now, isn't
Everything
it?
is Republican, I believe. I believe the House and the Senate.
The House and the Senate is Republican. So who's gonna vote against them?
I mean, like I said, and again, they put these things up there because, again, House and Senate, when you really look at the brass tacks of it, when Baby Bush went into war, did he need the House or the Senate? Or did he just go
No.
into war? He went into war. So do
He
you
said,
really need do you really
"You
need
don't."
you don't.
No,
So
that's why he's already making moves now. He's not there yet.
but,
He's,
but, but, but that's the point that I'm making.
yeah,
The point that
I'm
I'm making is
agreeing.
when they need to do what they need to do, regardless of the House or the Senate, the red tape is put to the side and they make the move. But anytime when it comes to dealing with the people, helping the construct, helping the infrastructure, there's always the opposing side. There's always votes that we got to
A
go
vote,
through.
yeah.
There's always, there wasn't no vote when they started funneling money, billions of dollars to the Ukraine. I didn't vote for that. There wasn't no
How,
money
how,
when
how
we
many
ran
how many billions was it? How
78
many billion?
billion, I believe it was, that we spoke about. 78 billion and continuing. When they spent trillions of dollars in Afghanistan, we were in that war for over 8 to 10 years. I don't remember there being a vote. I don't
Mm-mm.
remember at all. So at the end of the day, anything that benefits the people is always a vote. But anything that benefits the powers that be, and we all know who they are, whatever names you want to put on 'em. These people who operate in the shadows, they don't operate with voting. They just do. So
Mm.
yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Reckless says all the libs can do is hope that they do poorly. Y'all want things to be worse because your team didn't win. Listen, Reckless, it's time out for liberal living. It's too much is going on. There's too much. So it has to be an end to that. So they can't. That's the only thing they can do is hope. You're right. They tried. They fought their best fight, I suppose. He says also Trump is anti-war. Eh, I don't know. I guess he's anti-war, but I believe he'll fight. He may be anti-war, but I believe he'll fight. How about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm anti too, but yeah, put me in a corner and see what happens.
You
So
gotta fight.
yeah,
You
you gotta
this
fight. Yeah.
this is the time right now where we should be buckling down. And the words that you said is very important. This is the time where you start to, you know, formulate that relationship with your Lord and Savior.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
that we're at the precipice we're at that point, you know. So, those that see the writing on the wall see the writing on the wall. It was just like when Nebuchadnezzar's grandson, right? When he took over, he threw a party. And when Nebuchadnezzar plundered Israel, there were certain artifacts, holy artifacts, that he dared not touch. He just locked them up. So when the grandson took over, he threw a party and took out the artifacts and was throwing this heathenistic party. And as he's partying, he saw a big hand in the spirit that was marking his death, and he couldn't enjoy it. He couldn't enjoy it because it was written to him. We see the writing on the wall. It doesn't take a scientist to see it. But again, like we said earlier, those that want to convince themselves that there isn't, those, that's the issue that we wrestle with, right? Those that see it, see it. Those that don't won't prepare themselves. It's the same thing with Noah's Ark. For 120 years and 7 days, this man spoke about, tragedy coming. Nobody believed him. It never
Nope.
rained before on the earth. Nobody
No.
believed him. The same way they look at you and they say, hey, you picked up and you left and you're talking this, you Bolo, and everyone else that talks like that. Yeah. Yeah. Because you know
Yeah.
why? when the Lord closes that door like he did with Noah's Ark, if you don't have that lamb's blood on your door jamb, on your heart, when the angel of death comes through, don't blame nobody but you. And I didn't mean to
Right.
rhyme. I didn't mean to rhyme.
Yeah, you did. I know. Listen, I mean, that's the case. I mean, but the way I see it, I don't have anything else, Bolo. That's it for me. That's
That's
it.
it.
That's the bottom line. I don't have anything else. What else am I supposed to be holding on to? What else is out there of any significance that I'm supposed to be finding some type of peace within? What?
There's
What?
nothing. There's nothing.
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 I don't understand how people can I don't know, fight the scriptures so much. They'll skip over the scripture that God told you exactly what to do. This is how I like it. This is my principle. This is my principle right here.
Yeah.
And instead of them hanging on to that, they go down to where he's speaking to the sinful man for not doing it. And they'll say, well, I see right here that he did it and he did it. I don't think I had no problem with it. But didn't he tell you?
Uh-huh.
He told us. So I'm thinking, okay. I mean, okay. Okay. I mean, it gets really frustrating because it's just not that hard. I mean, it's easier for me to say, I'm a sinner. Lord,
Right.
forgive me. Thank you for
Right.
Jesus. It's real
Right.
easy for me to say that and to say, instead of trying to justify what I know that doesn't feel right to my spirit, what I know that I'm convicted by, what arrests me, it's crazy to me how we can look at somebody else, be living a sinful life, and then you say you're a Christian, and somebody's sitting there telling you, and you got so much pride and ego in you, you can't even hear them, but you're gonna say you a Christian? Oh, what is that, Mandrell? Oh my God!
That's Mandrell, the light skin assassin.
The light skin assassin is back. I have so much to talk to you about. You done got the married life. You done all of these things. Mandrell, how you doing?
Doing all right. How about yourself? I see you moved to South
Doing
Africa.
good. I did.
I don't know.
I
You
heard
might
you
have
had
the
a
right
baby.
idea.
I heard you had a baby, got a wife, all
No,
those
don't have a
things, all those.
baby.
I thought
Don't
you
have a
had a
baby.
baby on the way.
Mm-mm.
Oh, shoot. That must be somebody else.
He just looks like a baby.
No, he don't. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations on you too, you and your husband, for moving to South Africa. Where'd you go, Cape Town or Jayburg?
We're kind of in between. We're in between Jaybird and Pretoria, if you're familiar.
Gotcha.
You've probably been here before, yeah.
I've been there before.
Yeah. So listen, how is married life treating you?
It's an experience. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's been good overall so far, though.
I think Bolo and I told you that.
Yeah,
Mandrell don't call me. He don't call me no more.
And I will, Bolo. I will. I promise you. But what I've learned is that it has to be. Number one, it has to be with the right person. Number two, stop listening to the nonsense on the internet. That doesn't work.
Really?
Not in a marriage.
Okay, wait a minute now. Me and Bolo are on the internet. I mean,
Well, that's you two. I'm talking. I see the nonsense on the internet. I wasn't talking about y'all.
Okay.
Like when all those dudes, like Mandrell, when you hear all those cats saying, "If my wife does this, this is what I'm gonna do,"
Oh, that ain't real.
you find out that
No,
none
you're
of them
not.
dudes is married. Exactly.
That ain't real.
Right? No, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
That ain't working.
Not if you want to stay married.
No, a marriage is about sacrifice. It's about sacrifice.
Very much so.
die
Give
to,
and take.
Give and
you
take,
die to yourself
understanding.
daily.
You know,
Daily.
service.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? The quicker you learn it, the easier your marriage is. And you know what? I got to shout out Mr. Boss, because yesterday it was 29 years for us.
Dearly beloved.
Congratulations.
It sure
Congratulations to you
was.
and Mr. Boss.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
almost forgot
congratulations.
about it. I didn't forget about it. I just forgot to tell y'all. But yeah, 29 years. 29 years. And I still like my husband too. He's a pretty good guy.
Nice.
You blowing me a kiss. Okay, got it, baby. But hey, Miss M, how you doing? Lady Navoa, what's going on with you? Miss M, I shouted you out earlier. I don't think you were here yet. But
Yeah.
Mandrell, one day I would love to meet your wife. Keep it up. You did the right thing. You absolutely did. I'm glad that you
I think so
were
too.
able to find someone. If you haven't experienced the complete change yet, you will.
Okay.
You will. you'll look up and see that you are now a totally different person. Your thoughts are totally different.
You don't see how calm he is now? Usually he comes in rapid fire. You don't see how
Well, what
calm he is? He's laughing at you. Listen, there's times when Mandrell and I would talk in the background. Oh my God, look at him. The changed dude. He's
he
calm.
definitely is, but I'm gonna tell you the changes that I see. I see the slight beard and I see the white teeth and I see the skin. That's a wife right there. That's what wives do. Wives
She
come
does.
in
They
and treat.
do. They do. She does that
I'm
too.
serious. I know the wives
Here,
come
I
in and
bought
treat the
this. Put this on
skin.
your face. I'm like, what? What is this? Yeah, and this. Put this on your hair and put this do-rag on when we sleep at night. I'm like, what's this gonna do? Like she's right. She's right, Bolo. My wife does that.
Absolutely.
I absolutely know what wives do. I did the same thing to my husband when we first met. Look, every moisturizing cleanser treatment I had one for him too. I'll be doing his bald head every day, so I know.
Dearly beloved.
So
And then
I know.
here's the thing, like Circuit Boss, she sits me down and just cuts my hair, gives me a haircut.
Nice.
I didn't even know the woman could cut hair. Had no clue she
Oh,
could do that. But one day, it's like the first time she did this. One day she said, "Hey, come here for a second." I said, "What's up?" Just come here. I walked with her, and she had like everything set up, like the chair and the clippers and everything. Sit down, and she sat me down and actually like gave me a real, actual like a fade. She set me down and faded me up. I was like, "What in the world?"
Wow.
You know what that's a testimony to, Mandrell? That's a good.
Yes.
That's a testimony to the trust that you have in her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because this being the first time, she doesn't have a barber's license and all that. So for you to trust her with the clippers to cut your hair, because you're going to go out into the world if she does a bad job.
You're right.
And to give and to trust her, that's big, bro. It's small, but that small thing magnifies something
It's
so
huge.
bigger. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but you can tell that there is a permanent woman. It was one other thing too. What was it? It was the skin, the teeth. It was something else that you just did too. Oh, but what I'll figure it out in a minute. But it was one other thing I wanted to ask you. Now you're getting a glimpse on what becoming one is like. You see how things, your life is just kind of merging. She's cutting your hair. That's her hair. Like Bolo just
Right.
said, you're representing her. That's her, you're trusting in her that she's gonna do, make you look a certain way, and then it can be reciprocated. So that's all becoming one. And I think God calls it a mystery, but you will see it transforming in your life, and it makes things so much easier when you just submit to it. And I'm sure she's submitting to it also. So
And
that's what submission is all about.
And you're starting to see what service to each other looks like. She's taking care of you, so you don't have to. You can focus on her because she's focused on you. You dig what I'm saying? And
Yes.
that's where the power comes in. That's where the selfishness gets cut out, because you don't have to worry about it, because she's taking care of your hair, your teeth, your head, all of that, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing, man. Congratulations. It's good to see that you ain't as angry as you used to be.
No need. And patience too, Bolo. It does take patience too. Like when you first move in together and you're learning each other.
Yes.
It does. It takes patience. And then when that person has an issue and you know what I'm saying, you try to figure out what's going on with this. This is different. What's this? And then what I notice is a lot of people like on these platforms, they'll have rhetoric like okay, you should just leave. You should just leave. It's like, no, you should work on that. That's not a marriage. You know?
Wow.
But if you're selfless like that and you wait it out, then you find out what the issue is, and then now you can fix it. And then it's like, let me help you out here. You know what I'm saying? Then she's like,
you would never
think you can
tell
help me?
somebody to leave.
No. I wouldn't. Not unless it's unsafe. Unless the environment is just unsafe. Well, then
That's the beauty of it, man, bro. The beauty of it is working through it and getting to that point where you work through it, because in the midst of that fire, listen, how do you know you've been in the service? How do you know that man that's next to you is certified? You gotta be in hot sauce with him. You gotta go through that fire with him to know that you can trust this man with your life. So this is the only way that relationship is gonna grow. So that you see this woman right here next to me, she's certified, my G. She's certified. I don't have to worry with her. So you gotta go through that. It's easy to jump ship. It's easy to jump ship.
Very easy, but no, like you can't. And a lot of the rhetoric on YouTube, from the nonsense, as I call it, is too selfish for marriage. Like they mention marriage and this, thus and so. If you want a man to marry you, if you want a woman to marry you, but then you listen to what they say. I'm like, that's now you're that a minute. It's like, yeah, that's way too selfish. That ain't gonna work. Like you said,
No, and
security laws.
it's
You and Bolo just said it. Like you have to be a very selfless person because it's not about you. It's about the other person now.
right,
You
but
know.
you know what? That gets you exactly what you want, though. And I know it sounds crazy, but the selfless you can be towards your wife would be the more fulfilling you will be in your marriage
Mm-hmm.
because of what your purpose is in the
Right.
marriage.
Right.
And guess what? You ain't ever got to ask her to submit to you. You will
I
never
haven't, not one
ever.
time.
You will never have to, because it's somewhat of an automatic thing if everybody's in place doing what they're supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
from God's principles and his blueprint of marriage. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a time where it's going to be some difficulty coming, because every marriage goes through what they call it, a Norman stage or comfortable stage or whatever the different stages of marriage. You will have some times that will come up. But what you want to do is, Bolo said it best last week. He said, you want to keep that disrespect or that problem at a 1. You want to go to God with it at a 1, because you don't want to put time apart or have time apart from your wife where it to be for it to grow and become an 8, or where you, where the time grows and then you go out and it becomes an 8, meaning, or that she go out and cheat on you, or she goes out and do something that's really grave when it was maybe just disrespectful conversation in the beginning. You want to keep it right there, disrespect within the house between the two of you, instead of going out cheating, or she going out cheating, or somebody stealing money from each other, or doing any of these grave things that could come against your marriage. Keep it at a 1.
Right.
Recognize and keep it at a 1. So that was good. It's a super chat I needed to read from Big Ant. Can we get that? Because he says 29 years, 29 years. Thank you, Big Ant, for your $10 super chat. Congratulations, SB, 29 years. Lord Jesus, 29. I got to go and lay down, 29.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money lines. I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, SB, I'm gonna
Dearly
drop
beloved.
off. I'm gonna drop
Okay.
off. Thank you for having me. I love you both,
Yeah.
Mr. Boss. Salute, Mandrell. Congratulations. Call me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Later.
Thank you, Bolo. See you
Later, sis.
soon.
All
All right.
right.
Bye-bye. So,
Yeah.
Mandrell, now that we got all of that out the way, how are you doing with all the changes? Or going back to the subject of today,
Mhm.
and Black Man, I don't know if I told you hello. Black Man made a comment about you. It's gone now, but I was going to read it, but it's gone now. He's about all that cussing that y'all did with it at night or something. I saw it, but it went away.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do you think about the changes that are coming? Better or worse? What are your thoughts?
If he does what he says he's going to do, it's going to be better, especially in the context of national security. What the news media hasn't put out, or they don't talk about, are the things that have been lacking with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party lost this election, and they have no one to blame but themselves.
Right.
No one to blame but themselves. They didn't do Kamala any favors, because they were talking trash about her less than a week before the debate that Biden had, and everyone knew then for a fact, oh, he's not all cognitively there. Less than a week from that, Kamala was the laughingstock of the Democratic Party. You know, and so all of a sudden now you have this crisis where Joe ain't gonna make it.
Right.
You know, now we have to put someone else up there, but they didn't have anybody. Like, no one. Newsom wasn't ready yet. You know, and plus California hates him. But so they had to go with Kamala because of the optics. How's the Democrat Party gonna push someone other than the vice president? Plus, she's a Black woman, allegedly. You know, I think she is. I count her as a Black woman. I don't fall into that nonsense. Is she Black? Is she Indian? Whatever. One of her parents Black? Yeah, I think she's Black. I mean, how hard is this? America made the rule, not us. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
You know what I saw that as? I mean, I didn't care whether she was, she could have been Black or white, Indian. It didn't matter to me.
Right.
I think the part that I took away most of is that she lied. I think there was some lies going on about some pictures or who she actually was, which didn't make any sense to me. But again, I didn't fall into that because it doesn't matter. But going back to what you said, you are exactly right. Because I can remember a week or two before when they were talking about Biden. I think what's his name? Obama had come out. It was rumors that Obama didn't even care for Kamala. And then all of a sudden, he's backing Kamala. They set up that
Right.
phone call, remember? So that was kind of a weird way to present her. And she, but again, I still think the fact that she said she wasn't changing anything was a big deal because we needed some
Huge,
change.
huge. That was a huge
We
deal as
needed some
well.
change.
Yes, we did. Because when you look at things like our power grid, it's ridiculously vulnerable. Ridiculously vulnerable. And then the transformers that we have for our power grid, they come from China, who we are not friends with. We are far more adversarial with China than people realize. And that's because people
Right.
don't know. And my thing is, how can you accept anything that critical from an adversarial, country? How do you not think that there's a back door? There's not a back door in there where they can just hit a switch and cut it off or something. You know what I mean? If they
Well,
need
they've been
to.
playing around though, Mandrill. They've been playing around all our little airspaces since for the last all this
Right.
year.
Exactly.
All this year. But guess what? I don't think it's China that they need to be more concerned about. I think it's Russia. I think Putin
Not
is the
really.
one that is. You don't think so? Okay, well, we're
I
gonna
know
see.
so. I know so. That
Okay,
Russia.
okay.
Here's why I say that, because people are up in arms about the money we're throwing at Ukraine. Here's why I was like, at first I was like, I'm all for it, and up until very recently, I've been all for it, and that's because now we've seen enough. There's no need to fund it anymore or help them. It's like, okay, we've seen enough. What we've learned is that we've learned their military capabilities, the
Okay.
weapons that they have, the
Okay.
logistics that they use. Both we're talking about both of them, okay, in a conventional warfare setting, and so we hold that in contrast and compare to ours. We asked a war game, and we're like, okay,
I
how
got
would
you.
we match up against this? Yeah, it was
Right.
education for us, and something we didn't have to get involved in directly. So
Right.
that's why I was also all for it. But now they turned it into some kind of money laundering scheme. Ukraine did, and I was like, yeah, the gravy train needs to be over now. You guys aren't even doing right with the money we send you or the munitions. So
So are you saying that? Because I know that I've heard. I think that China does have more nuclear weapons than Russia. Is that a big? Is that a big? Because they have the right type of weaponry to take us out. Is that what you're saying? As far as in comparison to what we have, is that what you mean?
no, we learned about Russia, and we learned that Russia militarily they're no threat.
Okay.
They're nothing. We wiped them out in like a couple of weeks. That whole thing is over. They can't even handle Ukraine, and they're fighting that war
I got
half
you.
a block
I
at a
see.
time, half a city block at a time. Like that's how slow it's moving, and it goes back and forth. So it's like, yeah, it's not a threat. We saw their communication jamming technology that they have. We already have a workaround
Yeah.
to that. When it comes to China, people make a big deal about the hypersonic missiles. Well, we have hypersonic nukes now, and we
Right.
just
Okay.
tested them on election night. Yeah, we tested hypersonic nuclear weapons on election night. So we have
Okay.
those. So it's there's that, but China's building up their military directly and purposefully to fight us
Right.
because they are on a
To take
mission.
over.
You're
To
right. They
take
are on
over.
a mission to
Right.
take over. That is a fact.
Yes. Yes.
And America's kind of in their way now because this whole thing with BRICS, that no one's really talking about, but they're
But
coming after the
BRICS is
American dollar.
but BRICS is Russia and China together.
Yeah, but China's going to end up taking over that. They're using Russia, they're using Brazil, they're using India, they're using all the other countries that are affiliated with it as, like a better word, puppets. They're utilities. But China has the ambition to take that over and be in charge of it.
So let me say this. So if for some reason the United States government or our military is our leadership, I'm gonna say leadership is weakened because Trump is no longer, because that they're really trying hard to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then his vice has to get in there. Do you think that they'll still feel the same way, or do you think they'll try to take over at that time?
Everyone who made a chess move when Biden was in office, notice that everyone stopped. But if Trump is God forbid something happened to him or whatever the case may be, because I don't want that to happen to anybody, you know.
Right? No, yeah.
But if something were to happen to him and the vice gets in office, they're gonna move again. They don't care about him. They look at him like they look at Kamala. Like, who are you? You know, well,
That's
stop
true.
that. Make us. But Trump, hey, you gotta stop that. Okay, cool. Because they know
But
Trump is not afraid to actually move.
But didn't they say he's kind of a ruthless guy, the vice president? Didn't he say something like he was kind of ruthless or something?
Yeah,
I'm
but
getting
ruthless.
something.
Yeah, but ruthless doesn't necessarily make you the best fit, because
Okay.
you have to be ruthlessness comes. That's a utility, like anger or being calm. You know what I
Right.
mean? Knowing when to move, when to sit still. You know, knowing when to speak and when to be quiet. That's how ruthlessness should be looked at. You know, if he's a person who's reckless with his ruthlessness, that's going to be worse than if he just didn't do anything. You
Right.
know,
And,
look
yeah.
at
And we don't know.
right. Look at Biden and the way we pulled out of Afghanistan. It was atrocious. And we're going to have to go back to Afghanistan. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. We have to go back and deal with that. So, and all the interpreters that we had there and all the people who assisted us, they're now being hunted and eliminated by Al Qaeda. And we just left them there. We simply left them there. There are people at Bagram and Kandahar and other places who are there on base waiting to be flown out, because we promised them that we'd take care of them and get them out of there. It was a promise we made. But no, we left them there. You know, we left American troops there.
Right.
You know, and we had to come back and get them eventually. Some of them didn't make it, you know, and it's just, do you really think that they're going to be thrilled to help us out again when we go back? No.
I don't think we're gonna have any help, because again, I think that the United States has gone so far that we're under the United States is under judgment from God. So I think there's gonna be some very hard times that are coming.
Yeah, and the thing is, Iran is taking all that over anyway now, because that was the mistake in taking Saddam out, because Saddam was the one who kept that entire region in check. He really was, as bad of a person as he was. Yeah, he did attack his own people. Yes, he was a lot of the things that people called him. Some of the stuff he wasn't. Some of the stuff was unfair, but he was a lot of what people called him, you know.
Yeah.
However,
so how long ago was that? What year was that? Do you remember?
That they eliminated Saddam? I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
I know we caught him really quick. Because I remember being like, I think I was in basic. No, I wasn't. It was after that. But I remember thinking I was going to miss the war. I was in the Q course, Special Forces Q course. I think, oh man, I'm going to miss it. I'm not going to get to go to war. You know what I mean? So.
You know, the reason why I asked is because I have a feeling that around that time or right afterwards, they sent a bunch of sleeper cells. There's a whole bunch of people here that are seeking or waiting quietly, or not here, but there in the United States, waiting quietly for their time to revenge that, even though he was mean, crazy.
Oh, here's the thing. It's worse than that. This is why I agree with Trump full bore on his policy on the southern border. It's because we have Al Qaeda terrorists in America right now. And I'm talking about by the thousands. By the thousands. They're already here. And they're waiting. You know? And if they're smart, which even though they're desert dwellers, they're not dumb. As long as that southern border is open, I keep doing what they're doing. Training people up, shipping them over. Training people up, shipping them over. And they have legal documents, like genuine passports. Because one of their leaders, the guy who started the whole thing with suicide bombing, he's now in their government. And he's issuing out passports and legal papers to members of Al Qaeda. And they're being shipped. Some are being shipped directly to the States. Most of them are being shipped to Central and South America, and they migrate north and come in through our southern border. And that's how they get here. And they just, migrants can come over here and they can just start a life now. You know what I mean? They can just start a life without being illegal. No identification, no background checks, no nothing. So, and these are people with legal papers. So yeah, we have thousands of them now. And the next attack, the next big attack that we have, it's going to be worse than 9/11.
Of course. I mean,
And
yeah. I mean,
so that's
hopefully we're not sleeping. Yeah, we are. We've been totally distracted though. So yes,
yeah, we got
it's gonna be much bigger than that. I mean, the storms didn't help. None of that helped. We're still very distracted, but I'm just praying that everything works out. I've told a lot of people, I hope you have your passport just in case you have to leave. We're over here for a reason. We answered the call. We were able to do so though. Not
we,
everybody's gonna be able to do so,
right.
you know.
When I
So
first saw that you were moving to South Africa, I was like, if she's moving because of the reasons why I think she is, smart move. Smart
okay.
move. I was like,
I can believe. Well, I'm gonna say it like this. That included. That
right.
included.
Okay.
I know
Gotcha.
what you're thinking, but that included. That was the retirement part. Yes, of course, of course.
Well,
But I
yeah.
wanted to ask.
Mhm.
Yeah, what are you doing right now though? Where are you working? Did you ever get your business off and running, or did you go back? Well, you were actually working for the military again, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Department of
Okay.
Defense.
Okay, so you are
Department of
working for
Defense.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
I do have a business, a clothing business that's
You
thriving.
okay, good.
The reason why it grew so fast, one of the reasons was because of my wife. You know, she's actually in the Air Force and she's a contracting officer. So what she did was, school me on like, okay, here, I see what you're doing and you're right. This is brilliant. I can't figure out how you figure. She said, you're super smart for figuring out this much by yourself. But she said, but let me show you the secret to how some people do it, but don't tell us. Here's what
Oh, wow.
those people are doing. You know what I mean? So when she taught me that, I was like, that's what they're doing? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do that. She said, exactly. And so through the roof. So I've
Wow.
got that
That's good.
going. Also got a country doing things with DOD still. That's why I know about the
Yeah.
the things in geopolitics, but I see it all the time. But yeah, it's partly because of her, it's thrived.
Right. So what have you heard about South Africa?
Oh, nothing much. You guys are just you kind of there. They're not like in South Africa is not really on the radar of danger.
No.
Of danger at all. It's not like that's a good retirement spot, I'd say.
It is, but
yeah.
Nigeria, Kenya, Nigeria. Well, Nigeria is probably the in Haiti would probably be the two that you would have to wonder what's going to happen. Places.
Yeah, that and anything on the Horn. Anything on the Horn, yeah, that's yeah. The Horn has been a mess since I was in the Army. I've been to the. I can't say where I was, but it was on the Horn. But while I was in the Army, and it was a hot mess. Oh
wow! I've been trying to share with people about South Africa. Well, Africa, the continent completely, but it's such a everything is just misinformation. It's nothing like what people think. I mean, we're not missing. It's very modern here. It's very modern.
It is. It is.
It's
South
very
Africa
modern.
especially. It is very modern. Like even in Egypt, I was surprised with that. Like places like Morocco.
I want to go to Egypt. Yes.
Yeah, like
yes.
places like Morocco. I was shocked. I was like, oh,
I had
okay.
no idea.
Right. You first get there. It's not just desert dwellers doing silly things, you know what I mean? And it is, you're right, it's very modern over there in Africa. The whole continent's like that.
There's no kids sitting on the corner with flies.
I was about to say that too, because we used once I got there and came back, it makes you think of those commercials from back in the day, and I'm like, where's all that at? I was in like the poorest of the poorest places, and it's like it's like I didn't see it. I didn't see
any of that. Yeah, I would think probably maybe like Central Africa, maybe like the Congo, maybe.
I was about to say Congo. Some places in Liberia, some areas in Liberia, maybe.
I don't even know about that anymore, unless it's like you said, way up. Yeah, maybe. I mean, because now they're really building everywhere. Seems like to me. I mean, of course, I don't know everything, but there's still some places that are considered a third world. There's some places that don't have water all the time, but South Africa is not that place. This is just like the United States. And if you go downtown to Johannesburg, that's just like a baby New York or Atlanta or somewhere like that.
It's a major metropolitan city, Johannesburg. Cape Town's like that too.
Cape Town is another Miami all
Yeah,
together,
exactly.
you know.
I
So
thought the
it's
same
like,
thing when I went to we got to where I was in Kuwait and we were in Kuwait City. Like, this reminds me of Miami. You know, it's nothing like you would think it would be. It's like you said, places like Africa, like South Africa, is very, very modern, very
very,
affordable
very, very.
too. You know,
Yeah, yeah, especially the food. Now, like when I started the show, I told about our power bill. We end up getting solar panels because our power bill was no joke, $500, 9,000 rand. So that was kind of a shock. But yes, it's still very affordable. Food is like it's just no comparison. I'm gonna tell the story again, but when we came here in March, 5 of us went out to dinner to a white tablecloth restaurant, high-end restaurant. And we got, 3-course, 4-course meals. We got drinks, appetizers, the entree, and desserts. 5 people, and it was only $117 for 5 people. I
wow,
mean, we got real food too. It wasn't like, I mean, you could. Another thing too, they eat meat here. This is a place for meat. So many people think that I've heard that they don't really eat meat in South Africa. I'm like, what?
yes,
That's
they
all we
do.
eat is meat.
Right,
That's it. I mean, they eat meat all the time. So I was like, that is the craziest. No, it's hard to find a green here. It's hard.
right.
Matter of fact, they haven't been able to find a collard green yet. So
Yeah,
that
you can't believe the hype. Right, you can't believe the
you
hype about
cannot.
Africa. You can't.
No, you cannot.
But
It is so twisted. And, I wish it was easy for all of us to come here because come to the motherland because it is different being in a place where you're not the minority.
right,
You know,
but there's other
everywhere
places
you
like
go.
the places I've been in Africa along the Horn. I've said it before. I'm never coming back here ever again.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
I was like,
but don't you want to
no.
offer you want to offer them something because they are living I don't know how they live, So I get what you're saying. There are some, but Miss M says, folks, it's my belief that because Israel is involved in this world crisis, God's judgment will be global. A passport will be fruitless.
No,
No,
they're now that Trump's been elected, less than 48 hours after that election, Hamas, they called for peace talks with Israel. So did
okay.
Hezbollah. Hamas, Hezbollah, all the Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, they stopped. They're on a ceasefire, and the guy hasn't even been sworn in yet. China has said they want nothing but peace with the U.S. and they want to have peace talks with the U.S. and stuff like that. Everyone who has had a chess move to make on the geopolitical chessboard, everyone stopped moving. All the motion stopped.
Right.
As a result of that election, it's like, yo, okay.
We didn't expect
Well,
this, right?
you're right. And
Yeah.
again, he hasn't been
Yeah.
sworn in. He doesn't get sworn in until January. So
I know. I know.
it's
I know.
the effects of the election, they can't be denied, is my thing. You can't deny it. And
Right.
again, the Democrats lost this election. I can't
Yeah.
believe how poor of a job she did with that campaign, though.
I can't believe all the millions of dollars that she gave Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion, and I don't know what made her think that grown-ups would
Right.
actually. Well, I guess she didn't care about the grown-ups. She wanted the 18-year-olds to go out and vote, which means that she was trying to target people who maybe didn't have a political background or didn't care anything about politics at all. I guess I don't know. But
And she
listen,
played
I
it too
want
safe.
to hold on for one second. I want to speak to Miss M about something. Miss M, it seems to me if you and it's a hard read to Revelations 13. In Revelations 13, it speaks of, and it's a very difficult read. I'm not gonna lie to you. Revelations, period. Y'all know you got to really pray to God and ask the Holy Spirit to guide you through that. It seems that the United States is Babylon. Although what you're saying is somewhat true, meaning that we will throughout the world, globally, like you said, the effects of the United States being under everybody will feel it, but it won't be the same. It will not be the same. But again, as people can pray and get together and change things. So, I mean, that's what I'm assuming and would like for it to happen, but I don't know if it will or not. But if we could read that, Revelations 13, it appears to me that, or just Revelations begin that Babylon is the United States. And if indeed that is the truth, then that would be where God is that's his concentration as of right now. But yes, of course, we will all feel the effects of it, because guess what? The United States is the bride. They're the top dog, so everybody is affected when something happens in the United States. And this is very true. So I'm hoping I'm understanding what you're saying. But if you definitely, go over the Revelations, I believe that United States is Babylon. All right. So anyway, going back to you, Mandrell, what was that last thing that you said? Do you remember?
No, really.
But anyway, when
Yeah.
you were talking about how even though he hasn't been voted in yet, everything has
Yeah,
stopped.
everything on a geopolitical scale. Everyone who were up to no good and had a move to make, everybody stopped.
Yeah,
Everyone
because
has
they didn't
stopped.
anticipate. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
right. They
anticipated.
thought Kamala was going to win.
Kamala's gonna get in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and if she won, they'd have kept right on doing what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
No one respected her, and I
Yeah.
think that's her mistake, was not forging relationships like that while she's vice president. That was her
Yeah,
mistake.
but
She should have
but
pushed for
guess
that.
what though? But don't you think? I mean, there's a such thing as just too much liberal. Free will is real, and God has given us that. I mean, He granted that to us. I get it. It was a special thing, but I think we've gone too far. I think
Yeah,
they've gone too far when you're
that's what
talking
this
about
election was.
yeah, eliminating.
Everyone's gotten tired of the liberal agenda. Like
Yeah,
even lifelong lefties. Like I've always been kind of middle of the road. I believe in voting for the right person for the right job. But as I've gotten older, I've leaned, because I've always leaned left. But now I lean myself, and I talk to other teammates from the Army. All of us followed Tulsi Gabbard and RFK right out the door. Robert F.
yeah. So
Kennedy
it's
Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, they've left the Democratic Party. All of us have followed them right out the door, because like you said, we agree too. It's gone too far.
yeah.
It's okay to be liberal about things. It is, but this is way too much. You want tampons in the men's bathroom? Why? You want
That it gets worse than that though.
right?
Removing.
You're
You
forcing
know what?
people's kids to. You're forcing different lifestyles around people's children without parents' consent. You're allowing children to have gender reassignment treatments without their parents' consent. It's way too much. It's gotten terrible, and I'm not with it myself.
Way
I'm
too
all
much.
for it's way too much. I can't
You
deal
know
with
what
it
they
myself.
say?
I'm with your security boss. I can't deal with it.
Listen to this though. They're also saying that the most one of the most popular surgeries now. I'm sure BBL is still the most popular, but one of up and coming surgeries now is gosh, let me see how I can say this. Rectal expansion.
Rectal expansion?
Yeah. I don't know the real classified surgical medical term for it, but that is one of the newest up and going or up and growing plastic surgeries that are being done.
I'm
Can
gonna
you
look that
believe
up
that?
and see exactly what that is. Because if it's what it sounds like it is, why?
Mhm.
Like, why would you do that? I'm sorry. I'm a heterosexual male, and I don't get this whole thing with that lifestyle. I don't understand it. I haven't put, and
Um,
admittedly, I haven't put much effort into understanding that lifestyle
mhm,
because it's not
mhm.
my business.
I don't
But
even want you to. I don't even want you to Google it. But
I don't think about it.
yeah, I forgot how we came about that information, but it was somebody that actually works for a plastic surgeon that shared it. But so it's a real thing. I'm not making it up. I'm not trying to be funny in any way. I was just like, well, you know what? I've heard of the repair of it. So quite naturally, if there's a repair of it, then it could probably be broken too. You understand what I'm saying without being too
Mhm,
graphic? You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
mhm.
So anyway, so yeah, that's what's you that when you I mean, I don't even know what to say, but that is up and coming the surgery that a lot that's been sought out for.
Well,
I know. It's sad to me. My heart. I mean, I know y'all. I'm smiling, but it's like I don't know what to do with that. It's like
I
I
don't
never would
either.
think anybody would, of course, this is an elective surgery. Why would you want to have anything like that happen to you? But
It's
hey,
expansion though.
expansion,
No,
yeah.
thank
It's
you.
trying to normalizing sin. It's trying to normalize sin, and wouldn't that be quite normal? If we all doing it and, hey, this is how it's supposed to be done. Guess what? I got it fixed just for. So yeah, I know. Don't even try. That's enough of that. But anyway, enough of that. So Mandra, what you and your wife got on the what 4C doing? How long has it been, first of all? Has it been a year yet? No.
No, not yet. It'll be a year in February.
February.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
married Valentine's Day. It's her idea.
Oh wow. That
Do it on
was good.
Valentine's Day. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem.
You'll never forget.
Exactly. I think that's why she did
Never.
it too, to make sure I don't forget.
Uh-huh. Look at Reckless. Reckless, I knew you would take that and just run. I knew you would. He said, look, guys, your booty is now a business, a successful business. Reckless, Reckless, you too much. You talking about
Yeah,
successful
yes.
business expand. Stop. Stop. Oh gosh, I knew you would be one of the ones that would take that and go. But listen, I definitely would love to meet your wife. So if y'all decide to go on an anniversary, think about a trip or something. Think about South Africa as a getaway.
She
And
wants to
just
go. She wants to go to Africa. She's mentioned it
oh,
several times already. Like my sister and I are going to Greece.
oh, how is
This
sister doing?
She's wonderful, actually. She's business
Good.
has picked up for her too. She's now doing editing for actual movies and documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah, she has her own production company that edits that does the
Oh,
editing and stuff like that. So yeah, she's doing fantastic actually.
you know what?
Really,
I
really
also
well.
heard that you and Shushu both were married. That's not true, is it?
No, not true. She isn't. No.
Okay.
She had
Okay.
one that was they had a lot of potential,
Oh,
but it didn't work. You
okay.
know.
Well, that doesn't mean it's not over. So I know
Exactly. I told her the same thing.
is your mom like knocking on the door like where my grandbaby's at yet, or she gonna give you a
She
whole
she
year?
yes. She has.
Yeah,
She's hey,
already, huh?
so when you guys gonna have
Now it's
a
time.
baby?
I know.
Next time she's like, "When's the baby coming?" I'm like, "Okay, we're
Mom, I
working on it,
just
mom."
got
It's
here.
like, you know,
Yeah, I just got here. I know. I know.
exactly.
She like, look, I ain't got all the time in the world. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Oh, I know. I know exactly how that could be. Wow, that's so sweet. I'm so glad that you found someone that's good for you. And I can tell that she is. And look, you can be a testimony because I called it out. I can
you
see
did.
it.
You
I called
did.
it out. It's true. It's a real thing. That's what women do, especially a good woman. Definitely. That's what they do for you. Definitely
Hmm.
is.
And she cooks
So
too. Like when she cooks, not a ton of salt, not a ton of it's a thing. It really is. It's a thing. Like I
so
mean,
are you saying she's paying attention or is it just
mhm.
something that she can't okay.
Yeah, she
That's
pays
good.
attention to my health too. What's your blood
That's what
pressure?
I mean.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Go take it. She said, go
Mm.
check your blood pressure. Let's see. All right. You know, I do it, but hey, that's what she wants. So I'll give it to her. She's trying to help me. So
Right.
have you been to
So
the gym
have you
today? She asked me at lunchtime, have you been to the gym today? I said, no. She said, are you going? I said, yeah, I'm going. And I told her
so
what time,
listen,
like she'll remind me of things like that, you know?
have you been online much since you've been married?
No,
No.
not a
Okay.
lot. No.
Well, Mandra, you got to go back and visit and at least go to Black Man's channel and give your testimony because a lot of, you know how it is. I mean, a
Hmm.
lot of them need to hear that because that's you had your married folks and you had your single people and you know what the fight was like. So you have experienced somewhat of what they couldn't see or what you couldn't see as a single person. You have now experienced it. So maybe you can go share it. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but maybe you can go share it because normally
Yeah,
what people say is, I don't know how to explain it. It just is. It's just different. That's
it
normally what we
is.
say. It's just
I
different.
I understand what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain or
It's
put into words, but it is different.
it's just
It
different.
is different.
That's
It's
what
just different. It is. It's not a regular relationship where you're just dating. It's a
no, it's
completely
different.
different dynamic, you know. And as long as both of you respect it, you'll be, you can make it through almost anything. If I'm focused on her and she's focused on me, yeah, and you both focus on the greater good, which is of the marriage itself as a whole. I
Right.
think you make it through anything. I honestly do. I
Right.
mean, like, yeah, you're one of those people who has really good advice about marriage that I've experienced so far. It's like, yeah, I've heard this before. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I
so I
remember who
got
said it.
this is my major question. This is my big question. Because how long have I been here? I don't even see the clock. I've been here over 2 hours. This is my major question. Are y'all doing one pot?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, Mandrill. There you go. See, look,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
gonna
told her
come.
because before we got married, she said, "Okay, so how's this going to work?" She asked me, "How's it going to work?" I said, "Listen, I need to be authorized users of all your credit cards. I need to have access to all your bank accounts, everything." She
I
said,
love it.
"Well, wait a minute, hold on. Well, then what am I going to have access to?" Me? I said, "It works both ways." I said, "All of
Absolutely.
we both have access to everything. It doesn't have to all go into one bank account, but the one part thing, everyone has access to everything. There's nothing to hide because if God forbid
Right.
something happens to one of us, I need you to know what to do and where to get money if you need it."
Right.
So, I mean, if I'm hiding things, then that's something you don't know, and I failed you. I can't do that.
That is so true. Yeah, that you felt her with protection. Right. That's so
Mhm.
true. But Heat got married too.
I heard. I haven't spoken to him yet. I gotta catch up with him.
Right. I haven't spoken to him either. So I would love this is just outstanding to me to see that you guys, because this has all been on my watch. This has
Mhm.
been on our last 2 years of talking and speaking
Yeah.
marriage. So this is like exciting to see. I mean, and I had no idea you and Hink were like that close. Or either I've been gone that long, but I don't think I've been gone that long, but it's just like so much has happened. YouTube years or time or days is like years. Like
Right. A
so
week
much
is
has
like a year.
happened.
Like people
Yeah.
forget.
What? I was on here in June, wasn't I? But I think the last time I probably did a show was in June. So we were
Mhm.
gone for a few months. So yeah. But anyway, Mandrill, I am so glad. Now, what I'm going to do is we are definitely doing a show on Friday because we got a 7-hour difference. So we plan on committing to a show every Friday. So if you're not busy, look us up on Fridays and come back and join us, and we just have some conversation. Maybe talk about marriage, politics, or who knows what. But anyway, we're going to be talking, doing something. So definitely, and then bring your wife and put her in the camera so I can say hello, and then
I'll
she don't have to be
try.
on
If
camera.
she if
She don't
she
have to
if
be on
she
camera. I just want to say hello, and then she
Okay.
can go her merry way. All right. So listen, guys, this has been a good Friday, like always. I appreciate you so much, Big Ant. I appreciate you and all your super chats and things that you do. You can come on over here and get you a woman. It's a bunch of them over here. Reckless, you always bring in a sense of humor. I appreciate you guys. One day we're going to talk about something controversial. One day. One day. But anyway, thank you guys for coming. It is Friday night and I'm about ready to go. So say good night. Oh, it's in the middle of the day for you all. I'm saying good night. Bye bye.
Oh, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't home with my soul. Although I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. Although I can't sit still for a minute. I'm so dead set on indifference. Keep it Charlie, stay down with them tickets. Let's get around like it's the 80s. Right round, let's keep spinning. Let's keep playing these games that we don't want to finish. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit bitter, but I am to the core. You want the whole damn thing. Then you ask him for more. You want that old jive swing. You take up all of the floor. I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party. I blend in with the core. You drink it all the Bacardi. Till the bottle's no more. Let's take it back for this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming, stay, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to flow. It's so different with distance we roam into zones where nothing get hurt anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too are scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in a daze, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. What your crew think? I know your mom's probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably want to beat my death and take up in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist his lip and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reasons, so I ask, does forever ever happen? Or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. Oh, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.